Welcome to another episode of Rob's World of Boxing. Let's get it. Alright, I want to talk about the fights that happened over the weekend. Get into some fights that's going to happen this upcoming weekend and touch on a couple other topics. Let's get into it. Alright, first fight card I want to talk about transpired. Well, all the fight cards I want to talk about. And all three fight cards I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about the undercards. The undercards were pulled. Yeah. Well, one of them was an ESPN card. Other two was DAZN cards. You know how I feel about DAZN cards. ESPN dropped the ball. Probably because they're trying to move to the UK. And, you know, trying to throw some of those UK fighters on the undercard. So that's what they did. So it was pulled. All right. If I didn't say it, all three fights I'm going to talk about are title fights, man. So it was a championship weekend, man. Let's get into it. First fight I want to talk about transpired, as I said, Saturday, May 27th. This card was in England. It was a DAZN card. DAZN in this case was Eddie Hearn. All those guys, Matchroom. All right, the main event, the only fight I'm going to talk about was the 12-round contest at cruiserweight. Cruiserweight is 176 pounds, if you didn't know. Well, 176 pounds to 200 pounds. Sorry about that, if you didn't know. Yeah, there was a title fight. Lawrence Okolie versus Chris Smith. Lawrence Okolie was 19-0, 14 KOs. Chris Smith was 17-0, 12 KOs. Okolie was 30. Chris Smith was 32 years of age. Both fighters were from the UK. All right, this was a battle of two former sparring partners. Smith said he would beat Okolie at the pre-fight presser, man. There's a lot of bad blood. Well, not too bad, because, you know, they was former sparring partners, but he was saying he was going to embarrass Okolie, and, you know, and that he did, man. He actually dropped Okolie 3 times in this fight. The first one was a legitimate, you know, knockdown. He called Okolie out of position and fired on him, for lack of better words, put him down. The second one, it was like a little shove. The third one, I don't believe it was a knockdown at all, you know. So, but the second one, I don't believe it was a knockdown. The third one was like a little shove. Sorry about that. All right, but yeah, nonetheless, he did go down 3 times. Okolie also got deducted 2 points in this fight, man, for excessive holding. He was clinching. He was trying to slow dance with that man all night long. I'm like, man, let the man go. What you doing, man? But yeah, man, like I said, Okolie pretty much took a beating, man. I don't know how. Let's get into what the judges had. One judge had to fight an even fight, and I don't know what he was looking at, because it was no way even, man. He had it 112-112. The other 2 judges had it more realistically what the fight was. One judge had it 116-107 for Smith. The other judge had it 115-108 for Smith, making him a majority decision winner and making him the new WBO champion at cruiserweight. You know, giving him that belt, tacking Lawrence Okolie's first loss on him, you know. Congratulations, Chris Smith, man. Getting that win. Thoughts on the fight? I feel like Okolie, man, he was never nothing to write home about, in my opinion. I feel like he lacked in a lot of areas, man. You know, he's big as hell for the weight, but he doesn't jab. You know, he doesn't use his height how he should, in my opinion. I feel like, you know, he'll get on the inside, and he don't fight well on the inside. For, you know, shit, lack of better words, man. Fuck it. Yeah, man. And like I said, he was never nothing to write home about, in my opinion. I never really, for lack of better words, liked his style too much. He cool as a person, but I never liked his style too much as a boxer, man. And he got exposed, which I was thinking he was going to do later, you know, not so soon in his career. You know, maybe a couple years down the line from now, but he got exposed sooner than I thought. But he did get exposed. So, I feel like Lawrence Okolie, as he said, he's gonna rematch Chris Smith. He needs that rematch, and to redeem himself. He can't get past Chris Smith. Can't get past Chris Smith, man. It is what it is. You might be a journeyman. You might be a test for a young fighter. That might be what your future holds. If you can't get past Chris Smith. But nonetheless, good job, Chris Smith, getting that win and becoming champion. All right, next fight I want to talk about. Next card I want to talk about. It happened Saturday, May 27th as well. It was in England. This was also a DAZN card. Match Rome, Eddie Hearn, and all those guys. It was kind of confusing because it wasn't on the same card, but I was like, why the hell would they have two different cards, by the same promoter in two different spots? That's weird, in the same, both in England, but it was what it was. All right, let's get into this main event. It's a 12-round contest. A featherweight is 126 pounds. It was Leigh Wood versus Mauricio Lara. Leigh Wood versus Mauricio Lara 2. Excuse me. Let's get into it. Leigh Wood was 26-3, 16 KOs. Mauricio Lara was 26-3, 1 draw, 19 KOs. All right, Wood was looking to avenge a knockout loss he suffered to Lara February of 2022, losing his belt in the process, man. And he ended up doing just that, man. Wood ended up Wood dropped Lara in the second round. Surprisingly, I wasn't expecting Wood to drop Lara. I thought it was going to be the other way around, which it was his first fight. But yeah, he dropped Lara in the second round, man, en route to a unanimous decision win. One judge had it 118. Well, two judges had it 118 or 109. And the final judge had it 116 or 111. All for your winner, like I said, by unanimous decision. And making him the new WBA featherweight champion of the world, Leigh Wood. Good job, Leigh Wood, getting that win. My thoughts on the fight, I feel like it was the first fight and the second fight were completely different. I feel like Leigh Wood was getting a little overzealous and, fighting more of Mauricio Lara's fight, the first fight. I feel like this fight, he didn't, get off of his game plan. He did what his coach probably instructed and what they had, leading up into the fight, the game plan. And he implemented that, this whole fight. All he did was, I ain't going to say all he did, because, it was a lot more to that. But he just boxed, man. He stayed on the back foot, and he hit, and he wasn't getting hit. And that's all boxing is, man. Hit, don't get hit. And you got to know your strengths as a boxer, man. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror, and you got to say, hey, man, what am I? I guess Leigh Wood hadn't did that, man. Because his first fight, he was trying to brawl in there. This fight, he probably took a long look in the mirror. What am I? I'm a boxer. So let's go box the boy boots off. And that's what he did. He boxed his boots off, man. It wasn't close at all, as the scorecards indicate. Good job, Leigh Wood, man. It took a lot. I know it took a lot getting in that ring, avenging that loss. Not even physically, just mentally, getting over that hurdle. You thinking that this guy got your number, and not letting the demons creep in and, keeping your defense tight, not having a mental lapse at all in the fight and getting caught and getting KO'd like you did the first fight. So good job, Leigh Wood, overcoming those mental hurdles, man, and getting that win. Good job. All right. Next fight I want to talk about, next card, I want to talk about. All right. It was it also transpired May 27th. Saturday, May 27th. This card was in Ireland. It was an ESPN Plus card. ESPN Plus is Bob Arum, top ranked. All those guys. It was a 12-round contest at featherweight. Featherweight is 126 pounds. If you didn't know, it was Luis Alberto Lopez versus Michael Conlan. Luis Alberto Lopez was 27-2, 15 KOs. He is 29 years of age. Michael Conlan was 18-1, 9 KOs. He's 31 years of age. Luis Alberto Lopez from Mexico. Michael Conlan is from Ireland. So it was a hometown fight for Michael Conlan. And I seen it. So he had his name on the ropes and shit. Michael Conlan boxing. I'm like, is that boy? Oh, he big out here. Okay, I see. Man, it was crazy. He got, yeah, let's get into the fight. All right, Lopez was actually coming off of an very, very impressive win over Josh Warrington, man. When he got the IBF featherweight belt, it was a unanimous decision win over Josh Warrington, which I didn't expect him to do. I didn't expect him to win that fight, but he did and got that belt. This was Michael Conlan's second chance at a world title, man, after losing his first chance versus Leigh Wood, after dominating that whole fight versus Leigh Wood. And, well, I ain't going to say the whole fight, the whole first half of the fight, and around that 8th round, Leigh Wood started coming on and, doing what he had to do, man, and getting that win over Michael Conlan, man. Yeah, man, this fight, Michael Conlan was doing good, as he said he was going to do in the pre-fight presser, man. He said he was going to, box, and that's what he was doing, man. He was boxing well versus Luis Alberto Lopez, man. And up until like the 3rd round, man, when Lopez started countering more than I would like to see. He was countering Conlan and catching Conlan, on the way in and the way on the way out. So yeah, but other than that, he was boxing pretty well, man. It's boxing, man. You can't swim and not get wet. But he was getting wet. And in the 5th round, man, yeah, man, it was all she wrote, man. He got put to sleep in front of all those people. Luis Alberto caught Michael Conlan with a nasty uppercut, man. Like I said, knocking him out cold, putting him to sleep in front of all those people, giving Luis Alberto Lopez the 5th round KO win. And, he retained his belt, making him and still the IBF champion of the world at featherweight, man. Good job, Luis Alberto Lopez, getting that win. My thoughts on the fight, I feel like it was a pretty good fight. I expected what happened to happen. Leigh Wood knocked Michael Conlan out the ring, their fight. So his chin was suspect, to say the least. And Luis Alberto Lopez hits very hard, to say the least. So, yeah, I kind of figured it was going to end by knockout, and Michael Conlan was going to be on the receiving end of that knockout, and that's what transpired, man. So good job, Luis Alberto Lopez. Michael Conlan, I don't know where you go from here. I see you got your, like I said, you got your ring, got your whole shit set up out there. You got a big fan base. I know Bob gonna, do something with that, so I'm pretty sure you'll be okay. Maybe a Michael Conlan, Leigh Wood too, something like that. But Luis Alberto Lopez, man, I would like to see you in there with Leigh Wood before Michael Conlan, though. Get those, maybe y'all can unify those belts, see who come out on top of that one, but Luis Alberto Lopez is looking like the European fighter slayer right now. The European fighter slayer right now, man. He been slaying all these European fighters, man. So good job, Mauricio Lord, getting that win. And like I said, making him and still the IBF champion of the world. Good job, big dog. All right, that's it for the fights that happened over the weekend, man. Like I said, it was all championship bouts, So if you missed it, which a lot of people did, a lot of people didn't even know these fights was on, man. Like I wasn't too versed in the UK scene, boxing scene. A lot of people aren't, man. So hopefully I told you something you didn't know, And shit, if you're interested, go check out the fights, man. They got the highlights. Yeah, let's get into the fights that's gonna happen this upcoming weekend. All right. Get into it. First fight card I want to talk about is going to happen Saturday, June 3rd in Detroit, Michigan. It's going to be on DAZN. DAZN in this case is Matchroom. Matchroom is Eddie Hearn and all those guys. It's a title fight. It's a 10-round contest for the undisputed women's middleweight championship belts of the world. It's a 10-round contest at middleweight. Middleweight is 160 pounds. If you didn't know, it's Clarissa the GOAT Shields versus Marcela Cornigio. All right. Marcella Cornegio was supposed to be Hannah Gabriels, but Hannah Gabriels tested positive for a PED. So Marcella Cornegio had to step in at the last minute. So good job, Cornegio, man, stepping in so we will have a fight. All right, Claressa Shields is 13-0, 2 KOs, 28 years of age. She's an orthodox style fighter. She stands at 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. She's from Flint, Michigan, so this is a hometown fight for her, basically. She's the undisputed middleweight champion of the world. She's held multiple world championships in 3 weight classes, including undisputed at 154 and 160, and WBC and IBF champ at 168. She's the #1 pound-for-pound female fighter in the world. She's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. She won the Olympic gold in 2012 in London, and also she won the Olympic gold in 2016 in Rio de Janeiro, man. She's the first American to win consecutive gold medals, Claressa Shields. All right, let's get to her opponent, Marcella Cornegio. Marcella Cornegio is 16-5, 6 KOs, 36 years of age. She's an orthodox style fighter. She stands at 5'10" with a 72-inch reach. She's from Washington State. Now, I've never heard of Marcella Cornegio. So, yeah. Let's see if she can shock the world. Like I said, she was a late replacement. So, shit, good job. Shit, stepping in so we have a fight. But, yeah, I don't think she's going to shock the world. Hold on. All right. My thoughts on the fight. Like I said, I ain't never heard of Cornegio. Would have been a better fight with Hannah Gabriels. Like, she's going against the GOAT. Yeah, I'd probably be a dismantling, you know, a decimation. Yeah, man, an annihilation. Yeah, it's gonna be brutal, in my opinion. I think Claressa Shields gonna beat the hell out of Marcella. Yeah, I'm gonna say she's gonna put her to sleep in front of all those people, because she doesn't do that. As you can see from 2 KOs, she might just beat the hell out of her all night. A death by 1,000 cuts. So yeah, that's my prediction on the fight. Yeah, I'll say a unanimous decision win, winning every round. Claressa Shields getting that win. All right, that's it for that fight card. Yeah, man. The zone card, undercard is. So yeah, I ain't gonna talk about it. I just get to the next fight card I want to talk about. It's gonna transpire Saturday, June 3rd as well. But this fight is gonna be a pay-per-view card. It's gonna be in Miami, Florida. I'm not sure which promotional company, but I do know Adrian Broner signed to Don King. So whatever promotional company Don King has now, and I hope he gets paid, because yeah, we know how Don King move. All right, let's get into it. The main event is a 10-round contest at welterweight. Welterweight is 147 pounds. Didn't know. It's Adrian Broner versus Bill Hutchinson. Adrian Broner is 34-4, 1 draw, 24 KOs. He's an orthodox style fighter. Stands at 5'6" with a 69-inch reach. He's from Cincinnati, Ohio, and AB hasn't fought since February of 2021, and he's 2-1 in his last 5 fights. Adrian Broner. Let's get into his opponent, Bill Hutchinson. Bill Hutchinson is 20-2, 4 draws, 9 KOs. Orthodox style fighter, stands at 5'8" from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I've never heard of Bill Hutchinson. And also, I wanted to touch on, I'm not gonna buy this fight. I don't know what the fuck they was thinking putting it on pay-per-view, unless it's $5 on pay-per-view. Might buy it, but yeah, I will be streaming this one because they tripping. But yeah, my thoughts on the fight is I feel like I ain't gonna say a money grab, but I feel like the fight is a money grab, and trying to get AB some money, Don King, of course, some money. Yeah, man. I want to see AB, get that win, which I feel like he will get the win over a guy I never heard of, Bill Hutchinson. But I want to see him in there with some better competition, man. I want to see him really, really get focused, man, and really train and really end your career on a high note. Get in there with some championship. Maybe you can become championship, a champion again. And get your weight down, man. Go back down to 135 or something. Maybe you can do that, But yeah, like I said, that's my thoughts on the fight. I feel like he gonna get the win against Bill Hutchinson, man. I feel like it should be a unanimous decision win. AB is levels to this, and I've never heard of this guy, so I feel like he should show his level and outbox him at least, man, to a unanimous decision win. All right, so get to the next fight I want to talk about on the card. It's a 10-round contest at bantamweight. Bantamweight is 118 pounds. If you did know, it's Guillermo Rigondeaux versus an opponent who's yet to be announced. Guillermo Rigondeaux is 21-3, 14 KOs. He's 42 years of age. Like I said, this whole card is a money grab. Jesus. He's a southpaw. He's from Cuba, but he's living in Miami, so it's a hometown fight for him. He's 3-2 in his last 5 fights, man. So both of these guys on this card, in the in the main event and in the co-main, they were somebody special once upon a time. But now I feel like they both just a little long in the tooth and on the back end of their career. And yeah, man, trying to get some money. I ain't gonna argue with somebody trying to get some money, because shit, I'm trying to get some money. But yeah, it is what it is, man. We don't know who his opponent gonna be. So yeah. All right. In other news, Rolly and Ryan, I guess, on the verge of a fight, man. Rolly called Ryan Garcia out before his last fight against Barroso, and after winning his last fight, arguably against Barroso. A lot of people thought he lost that fight against Barroso. I was one of those, and yeah, man, I guess he's trying to give Ryan a title shot, which I feel like, shit, if you're going to keep insisting, Ryan go come take your title, which I feel like Ryan should do. Come take Rolly's title. I don't feel like Rolly has the skills, compared, to match up against Ryan. Yeah, man. I feel like Rolly was a weight bully at 135. He won't be able to be a weight bully at 140. He's going to have to rely on his skills, which he doesn't have. And, yeah, he's going to get exposed at 140. I feel like Ryan, might as well. Well, Barroso was the first one to expose him. And I feel like Ryan is going to be the second one to expose him and probably put him down, So that's my prediction on the fight if it does happen. All right. Also, Devin Haney has been rumored to go up to 140. He's been rumored to sign with DAZN. Back with DAZN because he was because he was with DAZN initially before going to Top Rank. And I heard him and Eddie Hearn has been in talks, and that's cool because Regis Progress over there now. So that'd be a smooth, route for him to go because Regis is champion, after having all the belts at 135, going to 140, and having the, first fight at 140, making you a champ. Oh, man, Dev, you doing something right, and if you can get that belt and then, get the T.O. Taylor winner, get those couple belts, then, or you can get that belt and then get this real Matisse fight, but you got to be careful because he killed the man. Be careful. But I think he might. I ain't going to do that. But, yeah, we got to see the test first. I don't put them, he on them roids until I see the test. But, man, I don't know. That Nigel Benn and Gerald McClellan situation and all that shit. So, some fighters just don't care about other fighters' well-being. But, yeah, man, like I said, he probably can get that belt from Real Matisse. Bow, and then you got 2 belts, then wait on that Josh Taylor T.O. winner, whoever win that fight them, then you have unified at 140, but I feel like it's going to be hard for Dev. I don't think he's going to be able to do it at 140, I ain't going to lie, but we shall see. Only time will tell, but I ain't going to doubt him no more. We both from Oakland, man, so I got faith in you, Dev, man. You then became the unified champion of the world at 135 pounds, coming from Oakland, California, man. So, man, you could do anything you put your mind to. I ain't gonna doubt you no more, big dog. And, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit, people. Rob's Road of Boxing. Yeah.